Hi guys, welcome back to the garden. If this is your first time here, my name is Karla and I garden in Zone 9, Southeast Texas. Today, it's kind of an update of the previous video where I did some garden work and I got a lot of things planted, but I ran out of time. The video was getting too long, so in this video, I'm just going to walk around and show you guys what I did and the progress from it. In the last 2 days, we've been getting a lot of rain. Well, we've been getting a lot of rain, period, but it rained again in the last 2 days, and so everything is standing up really tall and looking pretty nice. So although the plants are not as large as they're gonna get, they're really showing signs of growth and possibility. So let's get started. Let's look around and see what's new and what's still needing a little help. Okay, so here we're right at the door of the chicken house, and if I turn this way, you can see this is my seed bed. I've seeded in a lot of mustard here, and they're doing really good. Probably tomorrow, I'll start pricking some of them out and sowing them into other places. This bed has freshly been dug, so as you can see, I got grass growing in there, but it's very easy to pull out because it hasn't established itself well. So that's not bad. The basil here, if you remember from a previous video, this was one plant, and because the wind and the rain caused it to lay down, it started rooting from the stem. And so what I did was I separated it and replanted it. This is the original plant here, and all of these are the cuttings, and they are just growing very well. They're doing really lovely. So I should get a real good harvest of basil between now and winter. If we move this way, here is I can't remember if I showed it in the last video, but this is a passion fruit vine that I found struggling on the side of the fence. So I put it in this pot along with a few clippings that I got from another plant. But the most important thing is this passion fruit. I'm trying to save it, and it's looking really good. It hasn't put on anything. I thought that was a leaf, but anyway, it's looking pretty good, and I'll baby it and get it through the winter so I can replant it in spring. Here are some squash plants that I got into the ground. I believe they're gray zucchini. I believe they're gray zucchini. And as you can see, they're doing really, really well. Right in this trench, right next to them, I just sowed some lettuce seeds that should come up in the next couple of days. We move over here. As you can see, the lemon balm has really perked up since we cut it and mulched it really good. I have some lima beans going up the trellis here. They're just starting to take off, and hopefully I'll get a large harvest. This eggplant over here is kind of blocking the ones on that side, but I wasn't ready to pull that eggplant out yet. It struggled during the worst part of the rain, but as you can see, it's putting on flowers. Although the ants are becoming a real problem. That was sharp. The ants are becoming a real problem. But if you look down here, there is a young eggplant coming in. And hopefully there's some flowers back there. So hopefully I'll get a few more eggplants off this plant before winter comes. Down here, these are some more zucchini plants that are looking pretty good. I believe these are, I said zucchini, but I meant Hubbards. I believe these are Hubbard plants that I planted here. But as I explained in the last video, my tags got switched up. So I may have some things in here that I'm not sure what's in what place, but I mainly have winter squash, butternut squash, zucchinis, things like that. Here are some more young plants I put in. Now these should be cantaloupes. These should be cantaloupes. But again, we'll see. We'll see, because I may have gotten the tags mixed up. Oh, the sun is in the wrong place, so I'm casting a shadow. But here's a small mustard bed that's starting to perk up, and so I'll thin it out and place some of these in another bed. That's the rest of the eggplant. These are struggling, but I'm hoping they'll come good. Over here, if you remember, this was a bed of okra. You see there's okra there, and there was also okra here. But I pulled it out because it wasn't doing really well. And along this fence line here, these are a few tiger melons that I'm hoping it's not too late in the season to get. And then over here I have some cucumbers that I'm just gonna let run along the ground, and hopefully I'll get a ton of cucumbers, because when I planted the last cucumbers, I mainly used those to feed to the chickens. I did not expect us to start getting so much rain. And when the rain came, the plants started to die. So I'm trying to get a few plants going and healthy before it gets too cold. Right here, I had some tomato plants planted, and the rain damaged them all. This is one that kind of survived, so I cut most of it back, as you can see right there. I cut it, but I'm hoping this will be all right. And then this one, I did the same thing. I cut the biggest majority of it away and left what looked good. And then I came along here with some new plants and got them all in. So hopefully, these are cherry tomatoes. Cherry tomatoes do fairly well during our winters. So I might get a bit of tomatoes. I think I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this okra, because these plants are just not looking healthy. A few of them are, but for the most part they're not. I believe they just got too much rain and they're having trouble rebounding from it. Here's a big elephant ear, a black elephant ear that I put there, and I'm going to leave it for now so that it can get healthy, but I kind of think I put it in a bad place. Down here is also an elephant ear, but different species. It's just sitting in that dirt, and it's growing, so I'll do something with it later on in the season too. They'll both probably just end up going into the ton of winter. Here I have some zucchini. These should be yellow zucchini, but I'm having trouble keeping the grasshoppers off of them. So I don't know if they don't look bad, but they don't look that great. And if you can see here, a lot of munching is going on. So I don't know But I hope they come good and I can get a large harvest off of those. This is the fig tree that I talked about in a previous video that will become the focal point of this area. Right under it, you can't see them yet. In that empty space there, I've sown carrot seeds that I'm hoping, because it's kind of cool through here right now, that they'll sprout and be okay until things start to cool off. Here's a young moringa tree back here that I hope survives the winter and matures. This elephant ear is getting very big, so I'll divide it when winter comes. And then I hope that moringa tree does well. It's looking really good. It's 2 years old. And what I'm trying to do is get as many moringa trees as I can, because it's good food for my chickens. And I will talk about my new feed process in a different video. Here in this next bed is my one of my chiplin peppers. As you can see, it's starting to cool, so they are really starting to come into their own. The bush is just full. Here's a green one. There are tons of green ones, but as you can see here, they are starting to color up, so that's a good thing. The rosella I showed in another video, and as you can see here, those stink bugs are really starting to be a problem. But as you can see here, it's starting to put on fruit. So this was the patch that was yellow. In a previous video, I showed it and they were yellow, but they've rebounded good since the rain, and that one is showing signs of fruiting. I do believe right now you can see tiny remnants of fruit coming right there. So I may get a small harvest. Here in this bed, this is where I had the long beans planted. And I didn't get any seeds because the stink bugs they devoured those plants. But anyway, I pulled those down, and now here at the base I have some cucumber plants coming up. And I'm hoping between this patch and the other patch, I will get a great number of cucumbers, because I would really love to pickle some, make some sweet relish, and have something to feed to the chickens. Here I've just sowed, in between this grass, I've just sowed some lettuce seeds. They are not coming up yet because I just did it yesterday, but hopefully that'll be my first bed of greens for us. These are some Thai eggplants, and they were studded. And so I don't know if they're gonna make fruit, because we're getting late in the season and they're a long way from putting on fruit. But they do look good. And I mulched them heavy. I'm going to continue to keep them mulched, and maybe we'll get some fruit. Maybe they'll survive the winter and we'll get some fruit next year, because if we don't have a harsh freeze, Thai eggplants will survive here. I had a tree that lived for 4 years before it died. So fingers crossed. Right next to that, I have planted some papaya trees, and they're looking really good. Now they are young, so if winter rolls in too heavy, they may not survive. But what I'm hoping is they will be strong enough where even if the foliage dies down, the root will sprout in spring, because that does happen sometimes. But my intent is to wrap them this year, like I always do with the banana tree, to see if I can save them and get some papayas early in the year. Like I said, these eggplants, I've left them here, but right now they're not doing too good. See, that's one that during all the rain it just rotted on the vine. So I need to come in and trim these and see. There's a bad flower. See if I can get them sparked and doing something before it gets too cold. Maybe I'll get something out of them. Over here by the steps, the Malabar spinach is really starting to look good. The patch I have in the back has started making a great deal of berries. I harvested some of those this morning to dry, and both patches are looking really good. That rain was just perfect. I've been able to pick for the birds, and I will pick some in the next day or two, because I want to try drying it and seeing if I mix it in with their winter feed, if it'll benefit them at all. My bell pepper trees, my bell pepper plants are just full of bell peppers. That rain really did them a great deal of good too. Yeah, the leaves are curling a little bit because I do think it got maybe a little too much water. But it has stopped raining every day so far. I mean, every now and then it clouds up, but I haven't got any rain in 2 days. So if that stays true, these bell peppers might mature and do all right. Now you see I have one. I don't know if I can show it to you. I'm trying to zoom in. No. Let's see. See that one right there? Can you see that one way back there? It's too small. I mean, it's ripened, but I believe because of all the rain we have been getting, it ripened too soon. This pepper plant, it's trying to flower, but it's not fruiting yet. So hopefully it'll start fruiting like the others and save us and grow us some peppers. Hopefully we'll be able to get some peppers to put in the freezer if winter does not roll in too fast, and if the rain stops being so that the ground won't be so wet. I need to cut this elephant ear back. I think there's 2 plants down up in there, and well, that's something else that yes, I need to do. Next, I'm gonna get after this area here. As you can see, the banana tree. Well, let me show you the bananas. It's not putting on a full rack. It's not putting on a full rack, but see, it is. There are some bananas back there. So I'm grateful for that because we didn't get any bananas last year. But what I need to do is I need to thin out this circle and the one in the back, because that's some of the problem. The root system is trying to care for too many plants at one time. So in the next couple of days, I need to get a lot of these dug up, and I want to put them at the edge of the property and get some of them wrapped and see if maybe I have a better shot next year of getting maybe 4 or 5 bunches from different plants. This is my Egyptian spinach plant, and I think I spoke about this in another video. I'm not going to harvest it. I really just want I think I got 8 plants, and I want them to go to seed so I can get some seed. This was the last seed that I had, and so I need to get some seed. Get rid of all of these beans and clean this area out. It's way overgrown. There's okra in there and rosella. in there, and those will stay, but all that grass and stuff has to go. So this is the section I'm going to work on next. Right in this corner here, I have some zinnias that reseeded, and they are doing so lovely. They reseeded from last year, and so that's a welcome surprise because they are beautiful. They're coming to their end now, but they are still pretty. I love zinnias. And so that's it for today. Everything else, as you can see, is still overgrown, and I haven't got to it yet. But I will take you along on the journey. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification button so you can see when I upload new things. And thanks for watching.